This film shows scientific documentation on the effectiveness of Bemer therapy. A variety of preconditions must be fulfilled for human beings to be healthy and for the body's innate self-healing mechanisms to function optimally. The changed lifestyle of human beings and the circulatory problems this causes are responsible to a decisive extent for an increase in chronic diseases. A suitable electromagnetic field aids the blood flow and can help in various ways to encourage the body's own energy production. The type of impulse which has been furthest developed to date is the Bemer impulse. Bemer stands for bioelectromagnetic energy regulation. Innomate International AG commissioned, among others, the Academy for Bioenergetics in Liechtenstein to examine the physiological and therapeutic effects of Bemer 3000. In a large number of scientific trials, physiological effects were proven and therapeutic effects documented. The skin surface temperature, and thus the body's heat emission as well, are regulated via the blood flow in the skin. An example of the increase in skin surface temperature under the influence of the Bemer electromagnetic field. You see here an infrared thermographical image before activating the Bemer electromagnetic field. At approximately 32 degrees centigrade, there is a relatively low heat emission, above all in the violet-colored chest and stomach regions. During the 4th minute of the Bemer application, an increase in skin surface temperature of an average 1.5 degrees Celsius is established throughout the considerably lightened areas. The change in skin surface temperature in the case of an animal proves that the effect of the electromagnetic field is not a placebo effect. You see here thermographic recordings from a horse. In the case of the animal, the intensive applicator was placed at the neck and the Bemer electromagnetic field applied. The first picture shows the heat emission during the 1st minute of Bemer application. The second picture was taken during the 3rd minute of electromagnetic field application and shows a significant increase in heat emission. That the increase in heat emission is not limited only to the direct impact point of the intensive applicator proves that central regulating mechanisms of blood flow improvement are activated. The following series of pictures shows photographs in the dark field microscope. A series of examinations were conducted to ascertain how far the Bemer electromagnetic field is able to cause a breakup of a cluster of erythrocytes. Erythrocytes can become packed together as a result of a wide range of mechanisms, through physical and/or mental stress, lack of exercise, an unbalanced diet, and other factors. The overall result is a reduction in the oxygen transport capacity and blood flow ability. The first pictures show dark field microscopic photographs of the blood of a number of different people before activating a Bemer system or commencement of placebo testing. The second series of pictures shows the recordings after a placebo examination. As you can clearly see, there is no change with regard to the packing together of red blood cells. The slight differences in the texture of the pictures are due to the blood tests being taken at different intervals. The last series of pictures shows the photographs of the blood of the same test subjects. These pictures were recorded after an 8-minute application of the Bemer electromagnetic field. You can see a significant dispersal of the red blood cells, which previously were packed so tightly together. For the oxygen supply and the blood flow, this means an increase in the oxygen transport capacity and an improvement in the blood's flow properties under the influence of the Bemer electromagnetic field. An example demonstration of the influence of blood flow parameters in microcirculation under the influence of a typical Bemer electromagnetic field. From a research project by the Berlin Institute for Microcirculation in conjunction with the Academy for Bioenergetics in Liechtenstein. The aim of the placebo-controlled examinations was to prove, with the aid of a high-speed camera, that there are changes in the blood flow in the smallest blood vessels under the effect of a Bemer electromagnetic field. The effects and benefits that can be achieved by improving the circulation, mainly in the microcirculatory system, are obvious. An efficient and needs-oriented supply of the organism with vitally important nutrients and other important energy carriers is enabled. To maintain optimum cell function, approximately 90 different substances must be transported into and a large number of waste substances out of a cell. A long-term reduction in blood flow restricts the body's compensation capacity and self-healing powers. The consequences are visible and noticeable changes, such as premature aging processes, malfunctioning of organs and organ systems, in short, signs of disease. In scientific pilot trials, it was established that circulation in the smallest vessels can be improved with Bemer applications. With the aid of intravital microscopy and high-speed cameras, these and other effects have now been made directly visible for the first time. Here you see a blood vessel, a so-called arteriole, through which blood is flowing. You can just make out a very small blood vessel, a capillary, through which no blood is flowing. In the following close-up, taken after 2 minutes of exposure to the Bemer electromagnetic field, you can see that the capillary has opened up and blood cells are flowing through it. Another parameter which indicates an improvement in circulation is the volume of blood which flows through the small vessels, the so-called current flow, or the particle charge time volume. An examination was conducted to ascertain how many blood cells flow into the observed area during a certain time, and how many blood cells flow out of the observed area in the same period of time. You can see from the pictures that the current flow has significantly increased under the influence of the Bemer electromagnetic field. In accordance with the specific calculations, this means an improvement in the circulation of approximately 12%. The white blood cells and how effectively they can carry information play an essential role for the immune system with regard to defending against pathogens and dangerous substances. The pictures recorded with the high-speed camera show that in the tissue examined, relatively few white blood cells are sticking to the vessel walls before application of the Bemer electromagnetic field. After 2 minutes of Bemer application, significantly more white blood cells can be seen, meaning they stick to the vessel wall for longer and can pass on information better. In the tissue examined, it was possible to establish the following: a biologically relevant improvement of the functional condition of the microcirculation system, and activation of the initial steps in reactions of the body's own immune system. The previous documentation shows that by using the Bemer 3000 system, positive changes can be achieved in the human organism.